Hello, this is Xinru. In this video, we're going to take a look at question 226, Invert Binary Tree. In this question, we have to invert a binary tree. Let's look into the example. So we're given a tree, and our job is to change the left node and the right node of every subnodes except the root node. So the root node will remain the same, but the left node and the right node of every node will be changed. So how are we going to do this? So as you can see, there are two ways to deal with a tree problem. So first is iteration and second is recursive. And in this case, it is pretty clear that if we use recursive function, it will be very easy to write the code. And all we have to do is to exchange the left node and right node of every single node from the current node. So let's get into coding. So first, to do a recursive function, we need to write an escape case. So this escape case, in this case, should be if the current node we are visiting doesn't exist, then we just return, and that will be our exit case for this recursive function. So if root doesn't exist, we will just return, and then all we have to do is to swap the left node and the right node of every node of our current node that recursive function is visiting. So to swap two variables, we need to take use of another variable. So first we create our left variable and assign it to the left value. Assign it to the value of the left node. So we will call invert tree again here, and we will give it the parameter root.left. And the next step is we will change. So we will start swapping the left node and the right node inside our recursive function. So root.left should equals to invert tree of root.right. So after we changed the left, so we assigned the value of the right node into our left node. So the next thing we need to change our right node. So next thing we need to assign the left node value to our right node. So the left node value has already changed, but we saved it in our left variable. So what we can do is root.right equals to left. And this function should return the root immediately, because so if you look into this function, you will find out when we call the function on our root node, and it will immediately run this line 15, and the left node will be assigned of will be calling the invert tree on the root.left. Then it will start checking if root.left exists. If it doesn't exist, it will return immediately, and if it exists, so here I should return null value, and if it exists, it will start calling the left node of the root.left node, and if the left node of the root doesn't exist, it will return null, and it will constantly swapping the left node and the right node of the current node, then eventually it will swap every single left node and the right node of every single node. Let's submit our solution. So the key point is that we need to solve a tree-related question. We have to figure out what method should we use. Should we use iteration or should we use recursive function? And should we do depth first search or should we do breadth first search? And if we do breadth first search, we need to define a queue. And if we do depth first search, we need to use recursive function. And in this case, we are using depth first search.